If you've ever accidentally dropped your phone, you know that sickening feeling when the screen shatters against the hard pavement. But imagine watching that shattered glass lift off the concrete and perfectly fuse back together in your hand. Your brain immediately rejects that image as impossible. We know instinctively that reality strictly operates with a forward-only button. Dropping a handful of shattered glass will never accidentally assemble a working iPhone. But if you look closely at the deepest mathematical rules governing reality, that strict forward-only arrow does not actually exist. Look at Isaac Newton's laws of motion, published here in the Principia Mathematica. These are the rigid rules that define classical mechanics. When you calculate force equaling mass times acceleration, there is no mathematical variable in that equation dictating which way the clock has to tick. If you zoom in and watch two microscopic atoms collide and rebound, you can play that recording forward, or you can play it completely in reverse. The physics remain flawless. Because these basic equations are time-symmetric, they behave exactly the same in both directions. The universe itself does not possess a mechanical clock pushing reality forward. Without a cosmic clock, we have to look to the field of thermodynamics to understand time. Specifically, we have to look at entropy, which is the universal measure of physical disorder. Take a frozen ice cube. Its molecules are locked into a rigid, low-entropy crystalline grid. But when you add heat, the structure collapses into a loose, chaotic swarm of moving liquid particles. This introduces microstates. There is only one way to build that perfect grid, but a liquid puddle shifts into billions of random configurations, still looking like water. That is the definition of high entropy. When physical disorder increases, an overwhelmingly larger number of possible microstates becomes available to the system. This transition from neat organization to total chaos isn't driven by an invisible pulling force. It is simply an automatic, statistically driven certainty. We perceive time moving forward because it is statistically impossible for those billions of chaotic, shifting microstates to accidentally snap back into a perfect grid. Entropy also dictates the degradation of usefulness. To perform physical work, you need highly organized energy. When a car engine runs, it takes highly organized, low-entropy liquid gasoline and detonates it into a violent burst of expanding hot gas. The resulting exhaust gas and heat contain the exact same amount of total energy as the original liquid fuel, but that energy is now trapped in a useless, high-entropy state. Those scattered, chaotic exhaust molecules will never accidentally rearrange themselves back into pristine liquid fuel. You cannot unburn gasoline. You might wonder, if the universe moves towards disorder, how does a freezer turn chaotic water back into a perfectly organized ice cube? Isn't that reversing entropy? It looks like it, but a refrigerator isn't an isolated system. To force that phase change, the mechanical compressor requires massive amounts of electrical energy. As it runs, the motor pumps significantly more heat into your kitchen than it removes from the freezing water. Any localized decrease in disorder comes with a mandatory, much larger cost to the surrounding environment. The total entropy of the universe is still constantly increasing. Zoom out to the cosmic scale, and this is what physicists call the arrow of time. It is the universe's unstoppable one-way progression from order to absolute chaos. The past is simply the specific, measurable direction in spacetime where the early universe possessed highly organized, low-entropy usefulness. The future is the inevitable direction where that usefulness degrades into an unusable, high-entropy mess. Every basic action you take, digesting food, breathing, or walking across a room, actively leaves a dissipating trail of heat, increasing the cosmos's total entropy. The reason you cannot unburn a tank of fuel or unbreak a dropped glass has nothing to do with a mystical ticking clock. It is dictated by the brutal mathematics of probability. This law of messiness dictates the sequence of reality. The constant statistical decay of order is the sole reason a future exists.